Hey guys, Weaver here. This is a short tutorial on the activity that you will be turning in via Google Classroom. I've put in a couple infographics and an example of my flowchart. So for this flowchart activity, I just need you to remember that flowcharts are diagrams that visually represent the steps of an algorithm, and they can be used for illustrating tasks. So you're going to come up with a common task that you can give steps for, and you need to have at least 8 to 10 steps within your task. Okay, it could be like cooking or solving math problems or keeping score during a video game. So these flowcharts use specific geometric shapes, and that's listed here on the infographic. So you need to preview that so you can remember. You're going to use draw.io to create that simple algorithm flowchart of your common task. And again, attached is my example of making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Don't use the peanut butter and jelly sandwich because that's mine. You're going to come up with your own original common task. Okay, and you're going to use the proper shapes for your flowchart. So let's look at this infographic. So when you flowchart your algorithm, your flowchart always begins with an oval. Okay, that's your beginning and your end point. It starts with an oval and it ends with an oval. Your commands are your actions, and that's the rectangle. So for a linear flowchart, you begin the process. This is for washing your hands. Okay. Now again, use your original common task that you wrote out in class. Okay. Don't just copy and paste what's here on the infographic. This is just provided for an example. So they used a rectangle for the next command, and it goes on. It's a straight linear flowchart, and then by the end, you're drying your hands with a paper towel, and you end your flowchart. Okay. For conditional, this flowchart represents a conditional statement. It's this rhombus where you have to make a decision, usually posed with a question. So for this one, you begin the process. Then your next command is give students either a red or a white shirt, put on the t-shirt, assign students for the field trip according to the bus color or according to the shirt color, and that's where they need to go for what bus. Okay, so assign students to the field trip bus according to the shirt color. Okay, so the condition is, do you have on a red shirt? If yes, then you ride bus 1. If no, then you ride bus 2, and then you end. Okay, so remember the 3 geometric shapes that you are using, okay, are oval, rectangle, and rhombus. And the arrow in your flowchart, it connects the flow. It shows the flow. Okay, so you're going to come up with your common task, and then you're going to go to draw.io, and you're going to flowchart your common task. Here's mine. Let's see if I can enlarge this here so you can see. This is just making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I have some conditions. Okay. Do I have all the ingredients? Then yes. Then I continue with making my peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And it goes on, and then I stop. If I don't have all the ingredients, then I must go to the store, buy all the items, and then go back home, then go and start prepping my sandwich. Okay. And I'm going to show you how to use draw.io. So what you're going to do is you're going to type in draw, D-R-A-W, .io. And you should get a prompt that looks similar to this. Okay. This is your flowchart maker online diagram. So you're going to get a prompt like this, and you're going to create a new diagram. Now, if this is your first time using draw.io, it's going to ask you to authorize Google to use draw.io. You're just going to log in with your student account, and you're going to authorize it. Then you'll get this prompt to create a new diagram. Create a new diagram. It's easier. It's easier to use a blank diagram. They give you all these templates, but it is easier just to use a blank diagram. So open that up and create. You can place it in the folder. I have a folder in my Google Drive that's simply labeled algorithms and flowchart. So your diagram for this activity, it's untitled, but you need to just name it flowchart, and then maybe put your name, underscore, and then put your last name. Okay, so you name it. So real quick, I'm gonna show you how to, it's just a drag and drop to make your flowchart. Okay, so we begin with an oval. We'll drag and drop our oval. You can resize your oval, drag it to where you want it. Your line or your border around your oval, you can change it. It's at 1 point right now. I'm going to make a little, let's go to 8. No, let's go to 5. There we go. So that's my border of my oval. I can change the color. So since we're going to begin, let's make that green. Okay. And then I'm going to double tap in there, and then I'm going to type start, because we are beginning our flowchart, our list of actions. Okay, you can highlight your start there, and we can change our font. We can make it bold. You can change the font style. I'm going to make my font size just a little bit bigger. So start. And you're going to, actually, I'm going to 2-finger tap on the mouse pad, and I'm going to duplicate that oval, because I need 2 ovals in my flowchart, because one is beginning and one is ending. So I'm going to take it down here, drop it here, and I'm going to edit that by double tapping, double clicking, and I'm going to put, since we start, I'm going to put stop, okay, for my flowchart. Now I need some commands, so I'm going to drag out a rectangle. Okay, I'm going to resize my rectangle. You can be creative with this. Okay, I'm going to change that border. I'm going to make it 4 point, and I'm going to make this yellow. Okay, and let's say my action, how to make a flowchart, right? So design flowchart. Okay, I'm going to start. Now I need to connect it with some arrows. So I'm going to take my arrow, click on the arrow. I'm going to drag one endpoint to the oval. I'm going to take the arrow and drag it to my rectangle and connect them. And I can even change the size of the arrow here to make it look with a little more flow. Okay. Design flowchart. I can change my font there as well. I'm going to make that bold. And I'm going to make it 14 font. Okay. I'm going to add another rectangle. And then I'm going to connect those as well. Okay. I'm going to say use draw.io. Make that yellow as well. And you can manipulate the size of the rectangle. You can manipulate the size of the font and the color of the font, and you can make it your own. Okay, use draw.io. Now, if I throw in a conditional statement, let's say I put my condition here, let me enlarge my rhombus so I can type into it. Always drag it from the corners. Okay, I'm gonna make my rhombus a different color. Let's make that red. Okay. Let's throw in a conditional statement. So, do I know how to use draw.io? Okay, because if it's a condition, it usually is a question. Okay, so do I know how to use draw.io? Okay, and I need to connect those. So if I take this and move it here, with the arrow, I can even add a little bend. Okay. Connect it to my rhombus. I'm gonna add another arrow here because I need to answer my question. So if I know how to use draw.io, I'm going to design the flowchart. Okay. Okay. If I do not know how to use draw.io, then I need to do something else. So let's put an arrow here. Okay. And put a little bend there. Okay, you can manipulate the arrow that way by adding that little extra elbow. And I need to answer my question, so I'm going to grab a text here. So if I know how to use draw.io, this is going to be yes. Okay. Then it's going to point to design a flowchart. If I do not know how to use draw.io, type in no. Okay. Change my font size so I can see it. And I'm going to drag it here to line things up. Okay. So then I would need to add a command down here. Put a rectangle here. Connect that. And then I would type in seek help watch tutorial. Okay. And then I would reconnect. And remember, it always ends with an oval. So list out your steps. That's just a quick tutorial. I know it was a little bit long there, but let me put this here. Okay. And you just manipulate the arrows how you see fit for your flowchart. One other thing real quick. is if you want to add an image, you would go to Arrange and you go to Insert and click on Image. And then you would drag and drop. You can go, let's say we want to put in draw.io. Let's put an image of that. Let's just put draw. Go to Google. Search an image. Okay. You can drag and drop your image. You can actually just go and drag it and drop it to your flowchart and put it in. Okay. There's that. So design your flowchart, add it to Google Classroom, and submit it for the grade. That's it. If you have any questions, email me, and I'll try to help you out. Weaver out.